beautiful sunny morning across Wisconsin, made even sunnier, made even better by the fact that here on the Dan O'Donnell Show today, we have stories involving not one, but two of the craziest liberals in the state of Wisconsin. Bill Penzie and Kirk Bangstad, the owner of the Minocqua Brewing Company, easily the two wokest businesses, Penzie Spices and Minocqua, in the state, on the show today. And has Penzie finally gone a little too far? I'm not entirely sure, as this, the first night of Hanukkah, brings a rather tasteless Holocaust joke during Penzie's email blast to his supporters. If you would like to join the Dan O'Donnell Show, 414-799-1130 is our adventknows.com talk and text line. You can text us. You can call us. You can also reach us toll free, 1-800-838-9476. Email me, dod@iheartmedia.com. 1 week from today, we unfortunately have to cut off submissions for the Dan O'Donnell Show Family Christmas Special. We have gotten a ton of songs from your kids, your grandkids, singing Christmas carols, playing their musical instruments. But because we want to get every single kid in, we do need to also give me some time to put this show together. It'll air 2 weeks from tomorrow, actually, on Friday, December 22nd. It's hard to believe how quick the Christmas season goes, but a week from today is your last chance to enter those kids' Christmas songs. DOD@iheartmedia.com. Already have a couple dozen of them, and I'm already a little bit stressed out as to how we're going to fit every single kid in. Have no fear. We did it last year. We'll do it this year. Everyone is welcome on the Dan O'Donnell Show Family Christmas Special. If you'd like to follow us on social media, at Dan O'Donnell Show on X, formerly known as Twitter, Facebook.com/Dan O'Donnell Show as well. We are streaming live via the Dan Cam on both of those social media sites, as well as on youtube.com/Dan O'Donnell Show. Please do, as the kids say, like and subscribe. Producer Greg sitting in for producer Dave. I'm going to leave it up to you. Do we want to follow up on a major story that we broke out of middle school in West Bend, featuring an extreme act of violence, and also a couple of old dudes beating the hell out of each other on a basketball court? Well, an elderly parent beating the hell out of a relatively elderly basketball coach. Do we want that follow-up? Or do we want the possibility that Bill Penzie has finally gone too far? What do you think? I'm going to leave it up to you. I know you produce Jay Weber, highly rated morning show on the #1 most listened to radio station in the state of Wisconsin, News Talk 1130 WISN. But you have the pressure of deciding the lead story on the Dan O'Donnell Show. As a fill-in, are you up to that task? Good, sir. You like Badger Middle School? All right. As we first exclusively reported yesterday, the story was picked up, I believe, by the Mark Belling late afternoon show, and that was about it. An argument between a couple of girls at this school on Monday afternoon led to a boy coming out of nowhere and violently assaulting at least two of the girls involved in this spat.
You come out there for us. Say it. Say it. Say it. Say it. Say what? There's nothing to say. Say what? Say what I have to say. What did you have to say? I told you what I had to say. I'm not going to say it.
Now, you can hear the two girls say what you have to say. Say what you have to say. Just say it. Just say it. Nobody is getting physical. It's two girls screaming at each other. Then the video shows a boy just coming out of nowhere in this hallway, kind of moving one of the girls, yelling away, kind of gives her a little shove. It seems like he's on her side, as it were. And then one of the girls who is standing by her locker just gets absolutely... I was shocked at how hard he hit this girl.
Alina! Wait, what the f*** is happening?
boy, you could hear that loud pop was him hitting her jaw. The sound of her hitting the locker was actually her head hitting her locker door. The boy then storms off, striking another girl at least once as he does, before a teacher is able to come into the scene and comfort the girl who's now on the ground after she had her head smacked into the locker.
Why would you do that?
What just happened?
Why would you do that?
Up here and like the nurse.
It wasn't even between him. It was between me and her, not
Okay,
him.
so keep going.
Now, I can confirm that the boy, who's 14 years old, was referred to the West Bend Police Department and does face juvenile charges for physical assault and disorderly conduct. Now, the West Bend Police Department does say that they have had minimal contact with the boy. However, nothing violent, nothing that would rise to the level of severe criminal conduct like this. This was aggravated assault. This wasn't a boy involved in a fight with another boy. This wasn't two kids deciding to go at it in the lunchroom. This was a boy coming out of nowhere and just I made a decision not to post the video because too many of the other kids' faces who aren't involved in the conflict at all are shown. And also the two girls who were victims in this are criminal victims, and I don't want to show their faces. However, I have been contacted by the mother of the girl who was punched. She says that she's prepared to release the video, the same video that I have, and says that she took her daughter to urgent care where they determined her injuries were to be followed up with by a specialist. That's how severe her facial injuries are. She alleges that, quote, the principal more or less laughed off the situation and the boy in question was back in school the next day. The West Bend School District and Badger Middle School do not take violence seriously, the mother says, but are willing to give out-of-school suspensions to other children for nonviolent conduct. But not the one that not only caused severe injuries to my daughter, but to another girl who went after him in my daughter's defense, whom he also hit multiple times. That girl got an out-of-school suspension, but the boy came back the next day for an in-school suspension. Does this make sense to anyone? She also alleges that the boy in question has been, quote, gloating on social media and saying, yes, he hit a girl and he'll do it again. The mother does thank the West Bend Police Department and the school liaison officer for treating this as the serious crime that it is, but she is accusing Badger Middle School and the West Bend School District of not taking this nearly as seriously as it should. The video shows, and I'm sorry, I don't mean to be a tease and say, well, the video shows, but you can't see it. I'm saying, folks, there are all sorts of reasons I don't want to put this video out for public consumption, and the reason is I need to protect innocent kids whose faces would be showed and a part of this. I just don't want that. This video is evidence, and now I have not been able to track down the boy's social media posts, but we have allegations that he is not only confessing to this. I mean, he doesn't really need to confess. It's caught on video. But that he's saying, yeah, I'll do it again. Now, how much of that is enough for Badger Middle School? And I recognize that there need to be due process considerations here, that there needs to be an expulsion hearing. But if this doesn't rise to the level of an expellable offense, truly nothing that a child can do does. Now, as I reported yesterday, there is another component to this that I'm sure the West Bend School District would rather not confront. The boy who viciously assaulted at least two girls is black. The two girls who he assaulted, the victims in this case, are white. Whether or not anyone wants to confront that reality, it is the reality. Was this racially motivated? I saw nothing in the available evidence, i.e., the video or anything else surrounding victim statements, the statement from the mom, anything that would suggest that it is anything other than this kid just being a complete juvenile delinquent and deciding in that moment that he's going to viciously attack a couple of 13-year-old girls. It did not seem like this was racially motivated, but I bring up the racial component to it because I can guarantee that if this was a white boy punching two black girls in the face, including one so severely that she suffered such bad injuries that the urgent care said, okay, you need to see a craniofacial specialist because your daughter's face is that badly injured. I can guarantee the boy would not be back, as alleged by the mother, for an in-school suspension. He would be, you are not allowed on campus. And the school district would immediately put out a statement saying this sort of potentially racially motivated attack would not be allowed to stand. Again, there is no evidence that this was racially motivated in any way. In fact, it's almost certain that the races of everybody involved are completely irrelevant here. I bring this up, however, to illustrate just how severely, just how seriously the West Bend School District would be forced to take this were the races reversed, and how the victim in this case's family does not believe that they're taking it seriously enough. I did call the principal, Patrick O'Connor, this morning and left a voicemail seeking comment on the mother's allegations. I have not yet heard back. I asked him to give me a call back, or since I'm going on the air at 9 o'clock, to please shoot me an email. Now, if this wasn't enough, we also had an incident at Badger Middle School involving a parent who punched a basketball coach in the face over playing time for his kid. West Bend Police Department. On December 5th at 6:06 p.m., officers were called to Badger Middle School regarding a physical altercation that occurred between a parent and coach at the conclusion of the 8th grade boys' basketball game. The investigation determined a 60-year-old man approached the 62-year-old male coach at the conclusion of the game to confront the coach regarding the amount of time his son played in the game. During the interaction, the man punched the coach in the face. The man was immediately taken into custody and placed in jail on charges of battery to school employee and disorderly conduct. The West Bend Police Department maintains a zero-tolerance approach to violence or threats of violence in any school setting. All acts of violence or threats of violence will result in an arrest. If you observe any violence or threats of violence, see something, say something, and contact a school official or the police department. Now, this also prompted a letter home, an email home technically, from Patrick O'Connor and Tom Hugester, the athletic director. We are very sorry that your child witnessed a physical altercation against the basketball team coach last evening. The person who was involved was arrested immediately after the incident. Offering Badger students the opportunity to compete in athletics is something the school is fortunate to be able to do, but it is behavior like this that can ruin it for everyone. Thank you for supporting your son, his teammates, and the coach appropriately at our events. The Badger counselors are available if your son wishes to discuss the incident. Please contact us with any questions. Now, it is interesting that counselors were available because the coach got punched. Patrick O'Connor, the principal at Badger, also sent an email home following the extreme violent assault of the 13-year-old girl in the hallway on Monday afternoon. The assault at the basketball game apparently happened Tuesday evening. So back-to-back days, there are extreme acts of violence, weirdly enough, at this same middle school in, of all places, West Bend, Wisconsin. The email that was sent home to parents on Monday afternoon was about as generic as it gets. It didn't reference the severity of this. It didn't say, all right, here is what we have available for students who might have witnessed this. This is the generic email. I want you to note if there are any differences here. At the end of the school day on Monday, there was a verbal altercation involving 3 students that turned physical. The incident, which occurred in a third-floor hallway of Badger Middle School, happened after dismissal. Yesterday and today, administrators in the West Bend Police Department school liaison officer were involved in responding to and investigating the incident. Students involved in physical altercations are given school suspensions or school consequences, and referrals may be made to the West Bend Police Department. Sincerely, Patrick O'Connor. I did not see any video. I'm not sure if there is video available of the 2 60-year-old dudes wailing on each other. I guess, okay, fine. One 60-year-old dude is wailing on another 60-year-old dude. I would allege that witnessing the brutal assault of that 13-year-old girl would be every bit as traumatic. Why wasn't the same sort of message sent home? I would posit that that message sent home to parents was a deliberate attempt to minimize the severity of what happened. Oh, there was a little argument that turned physical. No, this kid hauled off as hard as he could, hit this girl in the face, and her head smashed into a locker. If this happened in a context outside of a school, no questions asked, there are immediate serious criminal charges filed. I will commend the West Bend Police Department in both incidents at Badger Middle School for taking appropriate precautions and treating this as seriously as I think is warranted. As I said on the program when we broke this story yesterday morning, I don't think this assault probably rises to the level of charging a 14-year-old as an adult. Those are reserved for extreme circumstances. And while this was bad, juvenile charges here, I believe, are appropriate. And as I said, the boy faces charges of assault as well as disorderly conduct. The question that I have, and it's a very pointed one, is if the victim's mother is accurate in what she said to me, that the boy was back in school for an in-school suspension? Why? Now, is this the proper protocol that the student is in school because there's going to be a disciplinary hearing, an expulsion hearing, something like that? But if one of the other girls involved gets an out-of-school suspension, which is, at least it was in my day, back when dinosaurs roamed the earth and I was going to school, an out-of-school suspension was always seen as far more severe than sitting in a classroom all day. An in-school suspension is sort of like an extended detention. When you do something so bad you're not even allowed on school grounds, that sends the message that that is extremely severe. Nothing in the available evidence, that tape, suggests to me that anyone engaged in criminal conduct except the boy who appears to have gotten the less severe punishment. I will pass along any response that I hear from Badger Middle School regarding that. All right, has Bill Penzie finally crossed the line? We answer that question next on The Dan O'Donnell Show.
From the Dan O'Donnell Show family to yours,
Merry Christmas.
Hot summer night, lightning strike. Down goes the tree, right through their bedroom wall, nearly ruining a walnut headboard, which is pretty hard wood. Fortunately, the customers were okay. But the headboard? That wasn't. Until they called us. We made that Victorian headboard better than new. So if you're looking for the finest in furniture finishing, repair, and heirloom restoration, by golly, it's Mullally. Mullally Furniture Finishing and Repair. We're no job's too small. Serving everywhere. Quality counts. Well, if you haven't heard me bragging by now, we're darn good. Actually, my dad has no qualms about saying we're the best. And if you're skeptical, I understand. But all you have to do is go to MullallyFinishing.com to learn why we're great at what we do and see lots of before and after photos that show off our impressive work. So if you're looking for a name you can trust, by golly, it's Mullally. Mullally Furniture Finishing and Repair. Serving everywhere. Quality counts. MULLALY Finishing.com.
Uline is here for the hard workers. For the ones rolling up their sleeves, working round the clock, and getting the job done. You're dedicated to doing what it takes to keep a business growing. Uline is dedicated to helping you make that happen. Working 7 days a week, staying fully stocked and ready to ship any of our 41,000 items the same day. Uline, your shipping and industrial supply specialists. Visit uline.com.
Don't let everyday aches and pains keep you from living your best life.
I don't think I really understood what people meant when they talked about pain until I started feeling it myself.
Start feeling better every day with Relief Factor, a daily supplement designed to support your body's fight against aches and pains.
Not only do I move better without pain, I just feel better.
Created by doctors, Relief Factor uses a unique formula of natural ingredients that target 4 metabolic pathways to address pain. Relief Factor doesn't just mask aches and pains, it helps reduce or even eliminate them.
Today, I do the things I love, and it doesn't occur to me to think about pain.
You can feel the difference all day, every day.
Join the over 1 million people who have tried Relief Factor's 3-week Quick Start Kit. It's only $19.95 and comes with our Feel Better or Your Money Back guarantee. Visit ReliefFactor.com or call 1-800-4-RELIEF. That's 1-800-4-RELIEF.
Save on the tools you need now through December 9th during Nye's Tool Day Sale. Get a 12-amp battery and blower when you buy a Milwaukee Fuel 18-volt chainsaw, a $429.98 value. Also, save $100 on select Milwaukee Fuel 18-volt tool kits with bonus battery. Shop these great deals and more at Nye's. Vendors on site. See the vendor schedule online. Nye's. Great hardware. Big on tools. Highways 41, 45, and Q in Menominee Falls. Visit NEUShardware.com for details.
Merry Christmas from the Dan O'Donnell Show.
Before Christmas, though, there is Hanukkah, which begins this evening, the first of, as Adam Sandler put it, 8 crazy nights. And just in time for Hanukkah, everyone's favorite spice dealer, Bill Penzy, he doesn't just bring gold, frankincense, and myrrh. He brings a whole lot of hate of Republicans with each and every email. Most of them are just random, marginally coherent rants against Republicans. But this one crossed my desk and made me raise an eyebrow because Penzy gets into the obvious thing you would talk about this Hanukkah, the Hamas-Israel conflict. It's called Hugs for Hanukkah. And of course, he's a spice merchant, so he wants to sell his wares, and it's all an advertisement. Penzy's entire business, just so we're all clear, is appealing to liberals. You don't buy his spices, and I'm told he actually does have pretty good spices. But here's a little secret about spices. You can get the exact same thing for about 60% less at a Walmart, at a Target, at literally anywhere else. Why buy from someone who spends every waking moment focusing on how much and orients his business around how much he hates you? Hugs for Hanukkah. Hanukkah starts today, and let's face it, it's going to be a complex one with so many extra thoughts and emotions involved. To get out of the hurt, I think we are going to need the Palestinian-supportive, anti-Netanyahu voices within America's Jewish community. So, what he's calling for here, let's just be clear, is all of you Jewish people who are upset about Hamas slaughtering 1,200 people, just sort of get over it and call for a ceasefire. You know, the same sort of ceasefire that Hamas broke with a terror attack in Jerusalem and a steadfast refusal to release all of the hostages that it agreed to release. Those voices have largely gone silent in the wake of the horrific inhumanity of the 10/7 attacks. And I, too, feel the natural inclination to prioritize saving those still living in Gaza before coming back to mourn the dead. But we can do both. Let me say that again. He wants to prioritize saving those still living in Gaza before coming back to mourn the dead. What he is very clearly saying is we need to focus on Palestinians who are in Gaza as Israel is sieging Gaza to take out Hamas. Yeah, you Jews, I get you're mourning the dead and raped and kidnapped and burned alive and brutally tortured, but we really need to prioritize Palestinian lives here. So many American Jews see 10/7 as the repeat of Kristallnacht, the night when the Nazis' true intention for the Jewish people were made very clear. As the deaths in Gaza become many multitudes more than those on 10/7, they see in just how quickly 10/7 was dismissed as real reason to fear for the future of all Jews. Yes, that sentence really was that poorly written. It's possible they aren't entirely wrong. He is also saying, hey, just a reminder, Israel has killed way more people than Hamas did on 10/7. They see in just how quickly 10/7 was dismissed as real reason to fear for the future of all Jews. Saving what's left of Gaza will be far less of a climb if pro-justice, anti-Netanyahu voices in the Jewish community are once again loud and proud. To make this happen, we need to make them feel safe. Right now, so many feel abandoned by those who they always believed would have their back. All right, here's where things get weird. And weird by Bill Penzi standards is, let me tell you, friend, real freaking weird. He makes a truly, I think, tasteless and bizarre Holocaust joke. From customer comments, it seems for many, a part of being Jewish in a post-Holocaust world is keeping a mental list of those non-Jewish friends who would help you flee if it ever came to that, or take you in if it was already too late to flee. I know a lot of Jewish people, and I'm fairly confident in saying nobody's really making a mental list. Is he saying if we started rounding up Jewish people in America, American Jewish people are secretly making lists of who would be their own personal Oskar Schindler? I don't think this is something that happens, but no one would ever accuse Bill Penzi of being totally in tune with, reality. He continues. Since 10/7, many feel they no longer have anyone left on their list. Please let them know that isn't so, and you will always be there for them. You ready for the joke? Please find a way to send the Jewish people in your life some sort of hug in this time of Hanukkah. Maybe if they are close and have a sense of humor, text them a photo of a couple sleeping bags up in your attic with the message that you will always have a place for them. Or maybe skip the humor. These are tough times for humor. And though I don't think we are near that point, they think we might soon be. This is something that should have none of us resting easy. It's tasteless in the extreme. Text your Jewish friends a photo of a couple sleeping bags up in your attic with the message that you will always have a place for them. You know what the reference to that is, obviously, that you would hide them in case a Holocaust ever happens here. I mean, I want to give Penzi the benefit of the doubt that he would never, ever, ever give someone like me. And I want to be fair here and try to understand what? Does he actually think? And here's where I think we run into a little cognitive dissonance with this guy. Is he aware that all of the people screaming for a global intifada and all of the university presidents who absolutely humiliated themselves and their prestigious institutions during that congressional hearing a couple of days ago, they're now begging for forgiveness. Have you seen this? They're all going on video saying, hey, let me be clear. Yes, I do believe that calling for the destruction of the Jewish people is harassment. I might have not been clear when I testified before Congress. Penzi is aware that all of the anti-Jewish hate, almost all of it anyway, is coming from his side, right? I mean, these are the people who will proudly buy Penzeys Spices, guzzle the swill that Kirk Bangstad calls beer, and scream glory to the martyrs. I mean, he's aware of this, right? But I guess here's my question. Is this anti-Semitic? For my Jewish listeners, I don't know. I mean, it's tasteless in the extreme. Like, yeah, text him a picture of a couple of sleeping bags. Text him a gold star that you'll iron on their clothing. What? I mean, I've always known, Penzy is quite dumb, right? The stuff he posts is idiotic in the extreme. But is this anti-Semitic? Producer Greg, what do you think? He's saying absolutely. All right, let's put it to the listeners. AdventNews.com talk and text line 414-799-1130 or toll free 1-800-838-9476. Dan O'Donnell here for my friends at the Lynch family of dealerships. With Christmas a few weeks away and the end of the year approaching fast, December's a great month to pause and reflect on our many blessings. But with the impending snow, frigid temperatures, ice, and rain, if you're not blessed with a car that's ready for the new year, you can trade up and make sure to visit shoplynch.com to find your new ride for the new year at the Lynch Holiday Savings Event, happening now through December 16th. Find your new car, truck, or SUV and receive either a 55-inch TV or a $300 gift card. From the Lynch family to yours, free gift with purchase at all Lynch locations now through December 16th. Also, at the Lynch family of dealerships, no need to worry about your tires, paint, or windshield as part of the Lynch Protected program included with almost every used vehicle purchase. Get Lynch Protected and a Lynch family gift card with purchase now through December 16th at the Lynch family of dealerships.
Why should the Federal Reserve have so much power over your IRA or your 401k? Whether they create a new bubble with low interest rates or pop the last bubble with high interest rates, a group of unelected government officials has no business deciding your future. Hi, I'm Dr. Ron Paul, and this is just one more reason why I recommend a physical gold IRA from Birch Gold Group. Because precious metals are the best way to maintain your financial independence. And now you can hold gold inside of a tax-advantaged account. To learn more, text the word SECURE to 989898, and my friends at Birch Gold will send you a free info kit on gold IRAs. Birch Gold is the only gold IRA company I trust. So text SECURE to 989898 to request your free info kit right now.
It is This Week with Annex Wealth Management. Dan O'Donnell alongside the president and CEO of Annex, Dave Spano. Last month, the 7th best month ever for the S&P 500. The markets keep going up, Dave, but still there are concerns.
Yeah, there's no question. Yeah, the 7th best month ever and the best month in 3 years. The Dow closes at a 52-week high, so there's no doubt that tech has been a big part of that. The tech index alone up more than 40% for the year. But of course, there are things to worry about. You look at, for example, home sales are down. Beige Book numbers were down across half of the industries. You can see vehicle sales are down. And of course, there's no question there's geopolitical risk around the world and may even be accelerating. So you take a look at that and say, what is the Fed going to do as we go into 2024? They are signaling that they could have 3 or 4 rate cuts in 2024 right before the election. So this is going to be an interesting conversation as we get into the next year and up to the election. We still are advocating for a well-diversified portfolio. You don't want to get over your skis because of this performance was led by the Magnificent 7 big stocks. And so go through your portfolio. I say this all the time. Know what you own and why you own it. Why is it in your portfolio? And get advice from a fee-only fiduciary that gives you comprehensive planning.
Yeah, you really do need to understand in periods of uncertainty and with the Fed poised to act and act in a big way, believe it or not, we are in one. And add to that the upcoming election and global issues to boot. You really do need to head to annexwealth.com to get that free portfolio review. For Dave Spano, I'm Dan O'Donnell. Thanks for listening to This Week with Annex Wealth Management.
Winter is coming, and that garage attached to your house, you know, the one your car is supposed to be parked in, is full of the kids' bikes, tools, lawnmower, the fishing boat, and everything except your vehicles. Don't get caught in the cold this winter brushing off your car. It's time to free up your car garage with a hobby building by Everlast Structures. Be prepared with the winter building sale at Everlast Structures. Get 5% off now through October. Spots are limited, so visit everlaststructures.com today for information. That's everlaststructures.com.
If you've fallen out of love with your home, maybe you just need a refresh. Contact CertaPro Painters and we'll put the power of pro to work for you. That's CertaPro's power to transform living rooms and rejuvenate kitchens. The power to get the job done right, on time, and within your budget. Get that lovin' feeling back with the help of CertaPro Painters. Start your project at CertaPro.com. The power of pro. Each CertaPro Painters business is independently owned and operated.
Sure, everyone wants to upgrade their housing situation, but mortgage rates are brutal. So for many, moving is out of the question. Jerry Bott here with a suggestion. Transform your current home into something spectacular in as little as one day with new countertops from KG Stevens. They have a huge showroom full of incredible quartz, granite, porcelain, and marble countertops that will make your kitchen or bathroom absolutely gorgeous. Go to the KG Stevens showroom like I did and prepare to be not just pleased, prepare to be inspired. Find out more at kgstevens.com.
When you're due for tire service, visit richlawns.com for the location nearest you.
We'll give you a free flat tire repair on every tire we install. No questions asked. I'm Brett Matchke with Rich Lawns. You're due for service.
Rich Lawns.
Don't wait until the end of the year to look at your financial plan. Now is the time to focus on year-end money-saving opportunities. Schedule your no-obligation retirement review with us at thekowalway.com. And don't forget to listen Saturdays at 10 a.m. to The Retirement Clinic.
To text a picture of sleeping bags in your attic to all of your closest Jewish friends to tell them if it ever comes down to it, if the people who buy Penzeys spices finally get a little bolder and start rounding Jewish people up instead of just calling for the execution of Jews in a global intifada, that you will be there for them. General consensus is it's anti-Semitic adjacent. It's in poor taste, to be sure. One listener texted me on the adventknows.com talk and text line, "What's next? Take a picture of a tunnel underneath your home and say to your black friends during Kwanzaa, 'Don't worry, I gotcha.'" I do believe he's aware the Underground Railroad wasn't actually underground tunnels. Like, you know, Harriet Tubman wasn't like Hamas digging tunnels under pretty much everywhere throughout the South. It was a series of safe houses that she would use. If you get a chance, read about Harriet Tubman. She was one tough lady, gun-toting Republican who said, look, you get chicken and you run back, I will shoot you dead right here. She used to tell runaway slaves that. You know, you got this big, like, burly dude who's probably a foot taller than her. She sticks the shotgun right in your face. You better shut up, because we're all not dying on account of your cowardice. Yeah, what is next? I mean, it's one of those instances, I think, where lefties get so woke they don't like, oh, yes, I will be your savior. This is like classic white savior complex, isn't it? Text a pic. If they have a sense of humor, like he recognizes, yeah, this would be in poor taste. And I can see what he's saying. You know, I can think of a couple of close friends where I could make, you know, a joke that would be considered crass, right? I don't think I would do it now. And that seems to be the consensus of what our listeners think. Greg says it's anti-Semitic. I'm going to use the old Seinfeld line. I'm not offended as, someone who cares about the Jewish people. I'm offended as a comedian because that's just a terrible joke. Do you know what coincidentally I was watching? I don't even know how this popped in my head. Oh, wait, yes, I do. I was listening to our Christmas station, which is not the number one most listened to radio station in Wisconsin. News Talk 1130 WISN is. I had to get that little dig in because when they were the most listened to, they said they were the most listened to. Now we are, so we're the most listened to. No, I was listening on the Christmas station. I was taking my son home from basketball practice, and a Christmas song by Mel Torme came on. And do you know what immediately popped in my head? The Seinfeld episode with Mel Torme, where he thinks Kramer is mentally challenged. And I actually, while I'm driving home, I was at a stoplight. I wanted to listen to the video. So I put on a couple of highlights from that episode where Kramer's in the cab and he's coming home from the dentist. So he's like drooling and he can't speak because his mouth is numb. And the director of this charity that helps mentally challenged people thinks he's mentally challenged. So he gets to be the guest of honor as Mel Torme is singing When You're Smiling to him. And I was just thinking, holy mother of God, would this never be allowed today? Coming up next, you want to talk about action? We go from anti-Semitism adjacent from Spice Boy to actual anti-Semitism in California. A Jewish woman not allowed to use a bathroom because Israel is occupying Gaza. Yes, really.
If you like to grill out when it's 20 below and you insist on calling your lawn Tundra, then you're ripe to be a fan of Green Bay Grapevine. Before and after every game, fearless football reporter Mark Daniels tells Jay Weber's morning listeners the gritty truth about the green and gold. It's a football fix, Wisconsin style.
Green Bay Grapevine is presented by Bob's Glass in Waukesha, specializing in glorious glass shower doors. If it's anything glass, think Bob's Glass. Bob's-glass.com.
Extra cash? Coming right up. Happy Money is letting you in on a happier way to elevate your savings with an incredible certificate offered by Alliant Credit Union. Smart, bold, and straightforward. Alliant offers a 12-month certificate with 5.25 APY annual percentage yield with a low minimum deposit of $1,000. Funds are insured up to $250,000. Best of all, anyone can apply to join. Elevate your savings today. Visit happymoney.com/Alliant. That's ALLIANT. The APY is accurate as of the 11/1/2023 dividend declaration date. Early withdrawal penalties do apply. Fees may reduce earnings on the account. Any monthly withdrawals or transfers reduce earnings.
AccuNet Mortgage is an equal housing lender. NMLS ID 255368. This is Chief Market Watcher Brian Wickert with some good news. Mortgage rates are back down. Low overhead AccuNet can once again deliver a 6.94% APR on a $225,000 30-year fixed rate loan with 25% down, top-notch credit, and all the other right stuff. Our special 30-year fixed rate money for first-time Wisconsin home buyers is also down to 6.375%. That's with an APR as low as 6.6 and as little as 3% down. Household income limits apply. A lot of home buyers have hit pause because of the holiday season and the spike in rates, but that's now in our rearview mirror. Winter is a great time to buy. There's a lot less competition and sellers are motivated. We just helped our repeat client Peter get an accepted offer to buy his next home, and he got it for a little under asking price. Whether you're just starting your home search or you're ready to get back at it, click on the blue button at AccuNet.com today and put the local mortgage gurus at AccuNet on your home buying team. That's ACCUNET.com.
'Tis the season of giving at all area Kunis Auto Group locations, the Milwaukee Metro region's automotive holiday headquarters. During our exclusive Season of Savings sales event, we're offering the biggest discounts of the year on our entire inventory of America's best-selling brands from Buick and GMC at nearby Kunis locations in Oakfield and Greenfield. Thinking pre-owned? Kunis has the area's biggest selection of pre-owned cars, trucks, SUVs, and hybrids, starting as low as $39.95 and payments as low as $199 per month, plus throughout December. Pre-owned purchases include our exclusive no-fear warranty coverage at absolutely no extra charge. Now that's giving even Santa would be proud of. Our huge Season of Savings sales event is going on now, exclusively at your local Milwaukee Metro Region Cunis dealership or online at shopcunis.com. From the Cunis Auto Group family to yours, have a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.
I'm Brett Ochtenhagen, owner of Brett Ochtenhagen Seasonal Services and host of the Designer Yard Show. I want to share a landscaping secret with you. Winter is when our ornamental trees and shrubs need us most. We all know that plants need pruning, but why in the winter? Well, first, we can see their structure best when the leaves have fallen. And second, pruning is not so stressful when your plants are dormant. Pruning is affordable and makes a huge impact on the vitality and beauty of your trees and shrubs. So prune this winter and have gorgeous flowers next spring and summer. Pruning also helps keep your plants properly sized. No more dancing around them on the sidewalk or wrestling through them to wash your windows. Call today and schedule a complimentary evaluation of your ornamental plants. Our plant care experts will make sure your trees, shrubs, and perennials perform and look their best. Discover the wonders of nature. Call Brett Ochtenhagen Seasonal Services at 262-392-3444 or look for us online at seasonalservices.com.
With so many mesothelioma lawyers, how do you choose the right firm for you and your family? I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan, and here's my advice to you. Do your research. Results matter. Reputation matters. Last year alone, our team recovered over $1 billion for our clients. If you've been diagnosed with mesothelioma, call us now as the time to file a claim may be limited.
Call 800-602-2200. That's 800-602-2200. Call now.
I've heard it often from business owners. I'd love to advertise, but I don't know where to start, and besides, I'm too busy actually running the company. Then you need Saturn Lounge. Jay Weber here saying, remember SaturnLounge.com. It's a great one-stop marketing shop for any size business, even startups. Saturn's president, Jim Colhart, and his team do everything from content strategy and scripting to graphic design and websites to photography and videography. And what sets them apart for me is that they're genuinely invested in your success. Let Saturn Lounge tell the world your story. Start at SaturnLounge.com.
In your community, do you have polling places in churches? We do. Up until the last census, I went to a church, wonderful place. The ladies in my community who run the polling place do an excellent job. It was a church. It's just a big meeting place. My daughter went to daycare there before she started school. It was a wonderful place. We got moved into a different congressional district in 2021. So we were in Congressman Stiles' district. Now we're Scott Fitzgerald's district. So we moved polling places. Now we're just at the public library. But this is a pretty commonplace thing, right? Not in Brown Deer. According to an email sent from the village clerk a couple of days ago, a resolution was approved to move the polling location from Shalom Baptist Church to the elementary school gym. Why do you suppose that was? Negative feedback was received regarding the village utilizing two churches as polling locations. What? Should you have any questions or concerns, I can be reached, blah, blah, blah. Karen Brustman, village clerk. So lefties are very concerned about having to go into a church to vote. Churches have been used as polling places since before we were a country. since before there was American democracy. The church was typically the meeting place, and this was where I'm learning all of this old stuff again because my oldest son is in AP US history, A-Push, we call it, in high school. And I'm not sure if I should say this publicly. I'm sort of reading his textbook for fun. Yes, I am that big of a nerd, ladies and gentlemen. This is why we do every week Forgotten History. St. Nick's Day was yesterday. Yes, I am aware. You know what today is, right? December 7th, the day that will live in infamy, the anniversary of the Pearl Harbor attack that got the United States into World War II. I decided to do Forgotten History on St. Nicholas. It is a story out of World War II, but it is, I wanted to do yesterday, how many houses does St. Nick come and visit? In Wisconsin, is clearly higher. We have way more kids on the nice list for St. Nick in Wisconsin than everywhere else because of our German heritage. And I spent a lot of time making fun of Krampusnacht. And I wanted to give St. Nick his due. He came to my house. My kids were apparently good little children. They weren't beaten with sticks by the Krampus, so I'm very relieved by that. They get beaten with sticks by me enough. It's not a special thing when the Krampus comes and beats them. You know what the Krampus is? He's like the medieval German Adrian Peterson. Is that a poor taste joke? It's been enough time. Adrian Peterson got suspended by the NFL because he took a switch and beat his kids with it. All right, I'm going to get in trouble for joking about child abuse by a mythological creature and also an NFL running back. So let's get to the unhinged liberal of the day.
Make me crazy.
Trump is Hitler.
We are in pre-Nazi Germany.
Make me crazy.
All white people are racist.
Does that make me crazy?
Trump is dangerous because he's evil. America is over.
Today's unhinged liberal of the day, three of them, in fact, are the employees at Farley's East Coffee House in Oakland, California, who were captured on video denying a Jewish woman's access to a bathroom after she complained it was filled with anti-Semitic graffiti.
This is a private property.
I want to go into the restroom.
I do need you to leave.
I know Israel loves taking private property and saying it's their own, but we gotta head.
You're not going to let me
You're
go
also
into the
misgendering
restroom?
them, so I need you to leave.
I want you to go into the restroom.
I need you to leave, please.
I was patroned here and I have a right to go into the restroom.
And we have a right to
asking
refuse
you to
service.
leave.
Yeah, but I need to go into the restroom.
I'm asking
So they finally allow her into the bathroom. And then they start ranting, it's not 1948 and you can't steal private property like in Israel. Because the woman wanted to go to the bathroom and there was anti-Semitic graffiti inside. These are about as woke a people as you're going to find. Coffee shop employees in Oakland. They're woke with a capital W-O-K-E. They do realize that they're behaving like Southern Democrats during the pre-civil rights era by not allowing someone of a particular ethnicity or race to enter a bathroom because of her ethnicity or race, right? They are, at some point in your life, as a woke person, you get so woke, you actually end up being really, really bigoted. And these three employees have gotten there. Kudos to the Twitter account Stop Anti-Semitism for drawing attention to this, because these three employees are your unhinged liberals of the day. A lot to get to in the 10 o'clock hour. Forgotten history, of course. A settlement in the fake electors case. Kirk Bangstad wants a temporary restraining order against someone who says mean things about him on Facebook. The irony too rich. We'll get to that.
News that's factual, fair, and balanced. This is continuing coverage on News Talk 1130 WISN, Milwaukee.
Good morning, I'm Tad Allen. The district attorney in Sheboygan County is promising a quick appeal to the ruling that Wisconsin's abortion ban doesn't ban abortions. DA Joel Ermansky yesterday said the state law clearly pertains to abortions. He intends to take the case to the Wisconsin Supreme Court if need be. A Dane County judge on Tuesday said Wisconsin's abortion ban only applies to killing a baby. She said it doesn't apply to consensual abortions. Wisconsin's abortion ban has been a focus since the end of Roe v. Wade. Democrats and liberals in the state want to get the law before the new liberal majority state Supreme Court, which they expect will overturn the law. 4 Milwaukee firefighters are recovering after being burned during an apartment fire yesterday. The fire happened in the 9600 block of West Hampton late yesterday afternoon. Fire crews say they arrived to find flames coming out of the side of the apartment complex. No one was inside. Firefighters say the building is almost a total loss. Almost 30 people are displaced. Milwaukee fire officials say 2 of the firefighters were sent to the hospital because of their burns. The shooter who killed 3 people at the University of Nevada, Las Vegas yesterday was apparently a college professor. Authorities haven't publicly identified the shooter, who was killed on campus during a confrontation with police, but law enforcement sources say the suspect was a 67-year-old college professor who had unsuccessfully applied for a job at the school. Checking the WISN Sports Scoreboard, the Bucks face the Indiana Pacers in NBA in-season tournament semifinal play later on today in Las Vegas. From the Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin News Center, I'm Ted Allen on Wisconsin's most listened to radio station, News Talk 1130, WISN.
Hey, Dan O'Donnell here for Mander Collision and Glass with 5 locations to serve you. You know, you hear me talk all the time about how great Mander is. Here's one of their customers, Brian. All I can say is fantastic service. For the first time in almost 50 years, I had the need of a body shop due to a front-end collision. Based on all the reviews I read, I was especially impressed with Mander Collision. From the first call until work was completed, I was treated like the most important customer they had. Megan was very attentive and focused on my situation. She kept me appraised of progress and couldn't have made me feel more at ease. The car was repaired sooner than expected and looked perfect. I know if I ever need this type of service in the future, I will not have to look anywhere else. Thanks, Mander Collision, for a job well done. And thank you, Brian, for proving once again that Mander truly is your best decision after a collision. Start your repair online right now at mandercollision.com.
Here's the latest forecast from the Fox 6 weather experts.
Some sunshine today and warming up to a high in the upper 40s near 50 degrees. Steady southwest wind helping that along. Overnight tonight, partly cloudy and 44, should be around 56 for our Friday. I'm Fox 6 Chief Meteorologist Rob Haswell.
This report is sponsored by Landmark Credit Union.
Jada believes in doing, which is why she does all her banking with Landmark Credit Union. Checking account? Check. Savings? Certainly. Car loan? Mortgage? Done and done. Landmark Credit Union. Banking made easy. Insured by NCUA. Equal Housing Opportunity.
iHeartRadio is the easy-to-use app for music and radio. Download the free iHeartRadio app today.
Hello, commercial customers. This is Michael Lynch from Lynch Truck Center, and it's end-of-the-year tax planning season. We've continued to work hard sourcing over 400 of the best GM, Hino, and Isuzu commercial trucks from all over the country. Most are ready to go, and some are ready for your custom upfit. The best part? All of our trucks qualify for the Section 179 tax deduction for 2023. Now, I know you're busy running your business, but we've made it easy. Go to lynchtruckcenter.com, select your truck, and click on the green button on each truck page to instantly see potential tax savings. For example, if you buy a $50,000 truck at a 22% tax rate, you'll get $11,000 in potential tax savings. You can deduct 100% of the purchase price from your 2023 taxes. Essentially, the truck will only cost you $39,000. Remember, we are in the truck business, not accountants. So, be sure to verify these tax savings with your tax professional. Visit lynchtruckcenter.com today. We won't disappoint you.
You have to have insurance. The law requires it, but it's also common sense protection against unexpected events. There's insurance, and then there's a peace of mind relationship when you need it most. The kind you get with State Farm agent Joe Wolfley. Joe and his State Farm team set you up for success in any circumstance. Learn more at insuremke.com. That's insuremke.com. Joe Wolfley State Farm Insurance. Now with 3 locations to serve you better. Mequon, Delafield, and Pewaukee.
This holiday season, spend more time with your loved ones and less time in the kitchen. At Sendix, we offer full traditional holiday dinners or just the sides, all homemade in store, then packed in reheatable containers. Choose from a wide selection of gourmet appetizers and signature trays, too. Spend less time working and more time with family this holiday season. Reserve your meal at Sendix.com/holiday. From our family to yours, have a happy and healthy holiday. Sendix Food Markets, your trusted local grocer.
With so many mesothelioma lawyers, how do you choose the right firm for you and your family? I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan, and here's my advice to you. Do your research. Results matter. Reputation matters. Last year alone, our team recovered over $1 billion for our clients. If you've been diagnosed with mesothelioma, call us now, as the time to file a claim may be limited.
Call 800-602-2200. That's 800-602-2200. Call now.
Hi, this is Nick from Metro Milwaukee Homebuyer, and if you want to sell your house fast for cash, contact us today. We are a local family business, A+ with the BBB, and we always treat you right. Visit MetroMilwaukeeHomebuyer.com to get your fair as-is cash offer today.
Set your game plan for a new baseball season with the 2024 Brewers 4-Pack, featuring 4 action-packed plans. Your first chance at the best seats and a serious savings on tickets. Find the right plan today at brewers.com/4packs.
Be sure to listen to the Annex Wealth Management Investment Show Saturday mornings at 11 and Sunday afternoons at 1 on News Talk 1130 WISN. Annex provides its expertise to arm listeners with the knowledge and tools to invest wisely. Annex Wealth Management. Know the difference.
Offering one of the strongest lineups of talk show hosts in the history of local radio. This is Wisconsin's most listened to radio station. News Talk 1130 WISN.
Sorry, I was just going through all of the entries that we've already gotten for the Dan O'Donnell Show 2023 Family Christmas Special. I'm trying to make sure that I have got every single one accounted for. I will be getting back to people who have already been submitting entries, getting them into our system today, just so we have a good start. I can get a start on producing the special, which is going to premiere on Friday, December 22nd. That is, believe it or not, 2 weeks from tomorrow. Producer Greg in for Dave, shaking his head in there. It does go way too fast, doesn't it? I mean, it is just, wow. It's an all-out sprint from Thanksgiving, and Thanksgiving was early this year. What got us behind, though, my wife and I, we didn't get the tree decorated until Tuesday night. The elves finally came on Tuesday night. Someone must have touched them, however, yesterday. I think it might have been me when I was moving an ornament. They always come in the first place. We have 2 elves, Jingle and Belle, and now we have an elf pet who is a reindeer, and we're not sure what we're going to name the reindeer. Although the kid's cousin, Gavin, has an elf pet reindeer named Pretzel. So I suggested, since we have Jingle and Belle, how about we name our reindeer Bun? So it's Pretzel and Bun. That did not go over especially well. My 9-year-old is still deliberating as to what the reindeer's name will be. Now, I want to know, so we sprinkled some Christmas snow that came from our freezer on the elves so that they move again. When do the elves move? Do they move during the day or do they move the following night? I'm not quite sure. Can some expert on elves on the shelves please contact me, because my daughter was up very early this morning and noticed that the elves did not move. Mom and Dad were quite tired last night, and I must have moved the elf on accident. I don't know, but it didn't move. None of them moved today, and this is we're at, I'm going to call it DEFCON 3, not quite DEFCON 1. The joys of Christmas. I love the Christmas season. If you'd like to join the Dan O'Donnell Show, 414-799-1130, 1-800-838-9476. You can email me, and this is where you send all those submissions. Remember, we are cutting them off a week from today, just because I need time to put this show together. It usually takes me untold hours to put that bad boy together. As I said, show premieres December 22nd. It will air, I believe, 3 times on Christmas Eve, at least twice on Christmas Day. I'm going to try to sneak it in on Saturday as well. My program director, Jerry, doesn't know this, but we might be preempting one of our... No, I'm just kidding. I wouldn't actually do that to him. Sometimes we have holes in the schedule. I'm doubting that on Christmas weekend we will, but it will also be available as a downloadable podcast if you would like your kid to be a part of it. Be sure to send an email to dod@iheartmedia.com. You can include a YouTube link or attach a video or an audio file of your child singing a Christmas song, performing a Christmas carol on their instrument. We do also want to hear from you. If you're an orchestra conductor, a choir conductor, school, church groups, yes, we want your kids. You've got to be a choir, though, because that's the only way I know that there is permission given. If you're just in the stands and you're recording your kid, I need to have someone in charge of the group telling me, yes, this is okay. It's not really a legal thing, but I just want to make sure somebody isn't a part of it. You know, we're obviously here on the show. I'm a controversial figure. I happen to think I'm lovely, but some people in the Wisconsin community don't feel the same way. We just want to make sure everyone is cool with being a part of the program. I will tell you, we're going to have at least 1, possibly 2 or 3 performances from my oldest son's Barcel Suzuki String Academy Brioso group. These kids are extremely advanced at violin, and they sound absolutely incredible. Their conductor, Colleen, just does remarkable work. They're going to be a part of it. We want to hear your kids' groups too. Email them. Email those performances, dod@iheartmedia.com. All right. Producer Greg, more pressure on you. Do we want to do fake electors? Do we want to do Kirk Bangstad? You know what? I do want to make sure I get to this fake electors thing, because if I don't, we do have forgotten history. We do have a very prominent lib during one of the late night group therapy for libs late night talk shows openly calling for Joe Biden to step down. I want to get to that as well. But the fake electors, do you remember these guys and gals? I think there was one gal. They were the alternate slate of electors who met at the Wisconsin Capitol on December 14th, 2020 in secret. They were in a secret room. They actually weren't. The Republican Party put out a press release and said, look, the outcome of litigation regarding... Okay, to back up. Everybody knows that 2020 in Wisconsin was the subject of a recount. It was the subject of litigation that went all the way to the Wisconsin Supreme Court. Any guesses as to who cast the deciding vote to reject Trump's challenge without even taking a look at the merits of the case, which I believe were incredibly strong? The Wisconsin election was not held in accordance with state law. Proper remedy would have been to rerun the election. However, I understand no court in America is going to do that, especially since Wisconsin wouldn't have been outcome determinative. In other words, Trump lost by more than 9 electoral votes. So what would it matter if Wisconsin's outcome was changed? A court wouldn't change the outcome. A court could, though, order the election to be rerun. In fact, a court in Louisiana actually did just order a sheriff's election in a local parish to be rerun because the Democrat won by 1 vote, but it was determined, it's a tiny little parish, it was determined that there were at least 11 votes that were fraudulently cast by people who both mailed in a ballot and also voted in person. So the judge ordered that the races to be rerun. It's not without precedent. This happened in a special congressional election back in 2017, 2018 in North Carolina as well. Because on December 14th, it is a legal requirement that the Electoral College meets. This has to be done on December 14th. The electors who met to cast their ballots for Joe Biden met at the Wisconsin Capitol to do so. I think everyone in this audience is smart enough to know you don't actually directly elect presidents in this country. You elect electors who then cast their ballot for the president. We don't have a direct election because we don't want, and the founders, the framers of the Constitution, didn't want big cities and bigger states to simply dominate the smaller states. So we don't have a direct democracy. We have an electoral college system of governance. It seems to have worked really well for 200 plus years until Democrats started losing in the Electoral College. And then, of course, we have to abandon it. Interesting, though, no calls to abandon the Electoral College when Democrats were winning the Electoral College in the age of Obama. Nonetheless, the alternate slate of electors, and there is precedence to this, when a state's outcome is in doubt, i.e. Hawaii. In 1960, the outcome of that election was actually changed. Hawaii voted for Richard Nixon, but an alternate slate of electors cast their votes for John F. Kennedy. It was determined Kennedy actually got more votes in Hawaii than Nixon, so Kennedy was awarded the electoral votes from Hawaii. Didn't matter because Kennedy won by a bigger margin, but this was the exact same thing. Remember, there was still a challenge pending before the United States Supreme Court, a challenge that ultimately wasn't decided until February of 2021. What the quote-unquote fake electors did, and of course, what the media refused to report, was perfectly lawful and is, in fact, the prescribed course of action when a state's election is questioned, when it is in doubt. They were trying to steal the election. No, it was an alternate slate of electors, and anyone with a fully functioning brain and any sense of history understood that. Liberals have, I'm going to say liberals have neither. So here we are. Group of libs sued the alternate electors for $5 million. $5 million, because their civil rights, they claimed, were denied them because of an alternate slate of electors. Guess how much they settled for? $0. Zero. None. Nothing. Were the fake electors, as part of this settlement at least, required to admit that they participated in an illicit scheme to install Donald Trump as El Presidente? We're now talking years later about Donald Trump. If he comes back, he'll be a dictator. Did you know this? That Donald Trump would be a dictator. He would use the Justice Department to prosecute his political enemies. This, without a hint of irony, this is what the libs are terrified of. Trump prosecuting his political enemies. I'm just going to pause because I know it takes lefties a little bit longer. You are worried about a president using his Justice Department to prosecute his political enemies. Okay. I've got some bad news about the Biden administration that you might want to hear. The suit was dismissed with prejudice, which means it doesn't get filed again. No attorney's fees were paid, no damages, no admission of wrongdoing whatsoever. All I saw when this settlement was announced from the mainstream media was deliberately, I think, false reporting. That there was an admission of guilt. That this was a big win for the lefties who sued for $5 million. Yes, getting $0 as opposed to the $5 million that you wanted. Huge win for these Dems. Literally no secret meeting. This was on the advice of the electors' attorneys. And every single bit of communication that was released as part of discovery in this case proved that they said, okay, we're going to use this alternate slate of electors if either the Wisconsin Supreme Court or the United States Supreme Court sides with us, because it is a legal requirement that the Electoral College needs to meet to vote on December 14th. So we had to do so to keep this challenge alive, because what would have happened if, let's say, by some miracle, Wisconsin Supreme Court, Brian Hagedorn decides to, for the first time in his life, side with conservatives. No, I'm just kidding. He has, but on all major issues, he's functionally a liberal. Let's say he would have voted the other way. Let's say, just for the sake of arguments, let's say the Wisconsin Supreme Court would have handed the election to Trump. They would have said, look, we have found outcome determinative fraud, and Donald Trump actually won Wisconsin. If the electors didn't meet on December 14th, they would have been out of luck, because the court would have said, hey, wait a second, you didn't vote. Those electoral votes can't be handed to Congress for the official count on January 6th. It is staggering, the ignorance of people regarding election law. And what's even more staggering is, I believe, the deliberate misinformation throughout the past couple of years, as the media has, I think, with clear intent, misled its audience regarding what these people were actually doing. Forgotten History is coming up next here on The Dan O'Donnell Show.
Tom Nichols with Meisner, Tierney, Fisher, and Nichols.
Non-compete agreements can be critical to protect your business. In Wisconsin, they must be carefully drafted and enforced. But my partner Mike Cohen and I have combined to do just that on several occasions. In fact, whether it's enforcing or litigating against a non-compete, we've never lost. And that's especially important to you when you've got a lot on the line. High integrity and earned respect have been hallmarks of our firm for quite some time. We've been representing businesses here in Wisconsin for over 170 years. If your business needs to enforce an existing or draft an enforceable non-compete, or if you are subject to a problematic non-compete yourself, please consider our experience and track record of success in dealing with these matters.
Good clients deserve good lawyers. Meisner, Tierney, Fisher, and Nichols. MTFN.com.
Hi, Dennis from White Lace Inn here. Since 1982, Bonnie and I have been providing comfortable elegance, sincere hospitality, and romantic getaways at the White Lace Inn in beautiful Door County. The White Lace Inn, 18 incredible rooms and suites within 4 Victorian homes, each with a beautiful queen or king-size bed. Enjoy a romantic fireplace and the warmth of a whirlpool for two. White Lace Inn gift certificates. It's the perfect holiday gift, and it's so easy, you can do it right now from your computer. Go to whitelaceinn.com and take a tour of each room, and click on the gift certificate icon or give us a call. In a few days, you'll receive your gift certificate, which never expires, in the mail along with a brochure to put under the tree. A gift certificate for White Lace Inn. It's a wonderful idea. The White Lace Inn on the Door County Peninsula is open every night of the year. Check out our website now, whitelaceinn.com. The White Lace Inn in beautiful Door County.
Why should the Federal Reserve have so much power over your IRA or your 401k? Whether they create a new bubble with low interest rates or pop the last bubble with high interest rates, a group of unelected government officials has no business deciding your future. Hi, I'm Dr. Ron Paul, and this is just one more reason why I recommend a physical gold IRA from Birch Gold Group. Because precious metals are the best way to maintain your financial independence. And now you can hold gold inside of a tax-advantaged account. To learn more, text the word SECURE to 989898, and my friends at Birch Gold will send you a free info kit on gold IRAs. Birch Gold is the only gold IRA company I trust. So text SECURE to 989898 to request your free info kit right now.
some breaking news to pass along before we get to forgotten history. The House of Representatives has formally censured Jamal Bowman for pulling that fire alarm that he thought was a door. You see, it's really an innocent mistake. Who among us has not accidentally pulled a fire alarm thinking that's how you get out of a building? I know I have. Especially when the fire alarm is on the wall and the door handle is, on the door, sometimes I am just very confused. I think, maybe I should pull that fire alarm. Of course, he wasn't deliberately trying to stop a House proceeding, which would be a very serious felony. No. He pleaded guilty to a misdemeanor. And the House voted 214 to 191 to censure the progressive freshman lawmaker. 211 Republicans and 3 Democrats voting in favor. Now, this should be instructive. How many Republicans voted to expel George Santos? And Santos deserved to be expelled. He committed crimes. So too did Bowman. 100 Republicans joined with every Democrat in voting to expel Santos. Just 3 Democrats voted to expel Bowman. While I believe voted to censure Bowman, never expel Jamal Bowman for reasons that are sadly obvious. But this is what Democrats do. Has there been any sort of resolution to even mildly condemn Gold Bar Bob Menendez for all the bribes he took from Egypt? Those gold bars, it was just reported a couple of days ago, were taken in a robbery, and somehow they make their way to Gold Bar Bob Menendez's jacket pockets. Everything's A-okay here, clearly. Oh, my goodness. But Jamal, let this be a lesson for Republicans. Let this be Democrats will never, ever, ever discipline their own. Ever. Not ever. They stick together on this stuff. Republicans should too. Oh, you want it? Trump finally shot that guy on Fifth Avenue? Yeah, tough. This is politics, baby. Told you he could get away with it. Each and every Thursday here on the Dan O'Donnell Show, we look back through history to tell the stories that might not have been told before, that you didn't learn in history class. Ladies and gentlemen, time for a St. Nick's Day themed episode of Forgotten History. At Christmas time, we think of those less fortunate and strive to make their holidays a little merrier and brighter. Even amid unimaginable darkness, the light of Christmas shines through when we give of ourselves, even when we have nothing to give but ourselves. This is the forgotten history of the American St. Nicholas. On St. Nicholas Day, 1944, U.S. Army Corporal Richard Brookins was stationed with the 112th Regiment of the 28th Infantry Division in the tiny village of Wiltz, Luxembourg, which the Allies had just liberated from Nazi control. For centuries, the children of Wiltz had celebrated the holiday by putting their shoes out for St. Nicholas to fill with candies and treats. But when the Nazis conquered the village in 1940, they banned the celebration altogether. For 4 years, there was no St. Nicholas Day. But that didn't sit well with Brookins and his friend, fellow Colonel Harry Stutz. I think we should give this town a Christmas party as St. Nicholas Day, Stutz told Brookins a few days before Christmas in 1944. A man dressed as St. Nick paraded through the town and gave candy to the kids. Kids here haven't celebrated St. Nicholas Day for nearly 5 years because of the war. Some of them have never even seen St. Nick at all. Stutz and Brookins got to work, collecting chocolate and other sweets from their company's rations and even getting donations from soldiers out of their Christmas gifts from home. They talked with a local priest who invited the entire town to the party they planned for St. Nicholas Day. There was just one problem. Who who would play St. Nicholas. "You, Dick," Stutz said to Brookins. "You're tall and skinny and would fit into the costume." That costume was the priest's robes and a bishop's mitre with a shepherd's staff and a thick beard made out of rope. Brookins wasn't convinced he could pull it off since he had never even played Santa Claus before and had no idea how St. Nicholas was supposed to act. Still, when Stutz told him the children of Wiltz were counting on him, Brookins agreed and dressed as St. Nicholas. 2 girls from the village dressed as angels, and when the time came, the 3 of them hopped in an army jeep and drove slowly through the streets of the village. Children lined the roadway and cheered as St. Nick and his angel helpers drove past and led them to the town's castle for their St. Nicholas party. As the children sang songs and performed skits for St. Nick's soldiers from the 112th Regiment handed out candy, and nuns from the local convent made hot cocoa from the GI's melted down chocolate bars. Brookins sat in the seat of honor, and one by one the children came up to sit on his lap and tell them what they wanted for St. Nicholas Day. Even though Brookins couldn't really understand them, he smiled and hugged and kissed each one on the forehead or cheek and gave them a St. Nicholas Day that they would always remember. In fact, decades later, in 1977, when the village of Wiltz was preparing to celebrate the 30th anniversary of its rebuilding after the war, it still remembered its American St. Nicholas. Brookins had gone home to Rochester, New York, went to work at the phone company, and raised a family when, out of the blue, he received a call from someone named Frank McClelland, a fellow veteran of the 128th. The two didn't know each other during the service, but after the war ended, McClelland had gone back to Wiltz a number of times. And each time, people there asked him to find the American St. Nicholas. So he did. A short time later, Brookins received a letter from Wiltz asking him if he would come back that December for St. Nicholas Day. "It is very special, and we will celebrate in December on St. Nicholas Day," the letter read, "and it would be an honor to have the very first American St. Nicholas there." So Brookins went back and again played St. Nicholas, this time to thousands of people who lined the streets and cheered wildly as his Jeep passed by. And he kept coming back and kept playing St. Nicholas. At the 50th anniversary of the first time he did in 1994, at the 60th anniversary in 2004, and at the 65th anniversary in 2009 at the age of 87. In 2016, Luxembourg gave Brookins its prestigious military Medal, a high honor whose other recipients included Dwight Eisenhower and Winston Churchill. Richard Brookins, the American St. Nicholas, was a national hero whose kindness and generosity inspired thousands and gave the gift of Christmas to children who desperately needed it. Brookins passed away in 2018 at the age of 97, but the gift he gave echoes through history. He was and always will be the American St. Nicholas, an enduring symbol of the true spirit and meaning of Christmas itself. Happy holidays! Dan O'Donnell here for my amazing friends at Built-Right Furniture. Built-Right's overstocked and overstacked mattress sale is on now. Shop the most unique selection of mattresses with over 60 models and 500 mattresses in stock. Built-Right always saves you money. Don't make a mistake by ordering online or from an employee-free store. Built-Right makes it easy, and with their legitimate sale prices, you'll get an exceptional value and a great night's sleep, as I do on my Built-Right Heirloom mattress. Built-Right does the research for you. Their team will take the time to help fit you. Built-Right specializes in hard-to-find flippable two-sided mattresses and heavy-duty mattresses that hold up to 600 pounds. Select model sets include a free mattress protector or heavy-duty bed frame. Shop Monday through Saturday, 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. Sunday. Built-Right's closed to be with family. Tell them Dan O'Donnell sent you to Built-Right at 54th and Layton in Greenfield. Dan O'Donnell here for my friends at the Lynch family of dealerships. With Christmas a few weeks away and the end of the year approaching fast, December's a great month to pause and reflect on our many blessings. But with the impending snow, frigid temperatures, ice, and rain, if you're not blessed with a car that's ready for the new year, you can trade up and make sure to visit shoplynch.com to find your new ride for the new year at the Lynch Holiday Savings Event, happening now through December 16th. Find your new car, truck, or SUV and receive either a $55 55-inch TV or a $300 gift card. From the Lynch family to yours, free gift with purchase at all Lynch locations now through December 16th. Also, at the Lynch family of dealerships, no need to worry about your tires, paint, or windshield as part of the Lynch Protected program included with almost every used vehicle purchase. Get Lynch Protected and a Lynch family gift card with purchase now through December 16th at the Lynch family of dealerships.
With nearly 50 years of experience, my dad, Jim Mullally, has taught my cousin Mark everything he knows. In fact, he bestowed so much expertise onto Mark that Mark went to New York to compete against the top furniture finishers in the country. And you know what? He won. So if you're looking for the finest in furniture finishing and heirloom restoration, by golly, it's Mullally. Mullally Furniture Finishing and Repair. Serving everywhere. Quality counts. MULLALY finishing.com. The bulk of our business is in wood furniture restoration. We found that there are a lot of folks out there with antique furniture and heirloom pieces that are in good shape, but just need to be brought back to life again. Well, that's our specialty. And right here in Mequon, you'll find one of the country's top furniture finishers. So if you want only the finest in furniture finishing and heirloom restoration, by golly, it's Mullally. Mullally Furniture Finishing and Repair. We're no job's too small. Serving everywhere. Quality counts.
I'm Brett Ochtenhagen, owner of Brett Ochtenhagen Seasonal Services, and I'm so proud to be a father, a husband, an entrepreneur, a Christian, and an American. My wife Amy and I did our best to educate our children about our reasons for embracing traditional values. This summer, Amy and I became empty nesters, and now our young adults are in the real world with the American dream in their heads, their hearts, and soon it will be in their hands to share with others. God is good. Marriage and children are a blessing. Capitalism works, and America is grand. She is rich with beautiful places to explore. She's a melting pot of beautiful people. Diverse? Yes. But we are still blessed to have so much in common. Ignore the politicians and the media who sow seeds of hate. Let's embrace the wonders of life, liberty, freedom, and the pursuit of happiness in America. Join me in discovering the wonders of nature and the wonders of America.
With all the positive Google reviews continuing to pour in for Richland's Tire and Service Centers, we want you to know we appreciate you.
You were due for service. We delivered, and then you went the extra mile and wrote a few kind words about the service you experienced.
Yeah, thank you so much. Michael, Glenn, Jeff, Lisa, Carol, Jason, John,
Wait,
Michelle,
hang on a
Brian.
second, Dad. As fun as it may be to name every single person who's ever left us a Google review, there just isn't enough time. We get 60 seconds, and I'd say we've got about 28 left.
Ah, good point, Courtney.
Listen, we appreciate every last one of you for helping us maintain a nearly 5-star Google rating. And we're going to keep on shooting for the stars, especially when it comes to providing top-notch auto repair service.
Yep, and remember, be safe, buckle up, and hey, always make sure you've got good tread on your tires. Peter, Bruce, Samantha, Kimberly, Nick, Heather,
Oh,
Marissa,
Dad.
George, Jeremy, Diane, Brad,
I'm Scott, the owner of Solid Fire Pits. When I began welding my custom-made fire pits for friends and family, I shared them on TikTok because I was just so proud of them. Check it out. That's beautiful. I posted every new fire pit design and more people kept ordering. From 26 states and counting. Then on my birthday, I had my best sales ever. Now how can the universe beat that?
Solid Fire Pits is just one of the 5 million U.S. businesses that rely on TikTok every day. TikTok sparks business.
A business person recently said it's like inmates are running the asylum regarding disgruntled employees. Human capital management systems from the benefit companies where we store sanity to your workforce. Connect and Simplify. Insource. The benefit companies. ConnectandSimplify.com.
Your clear choice for more. Lisbon Store, screen and door.
For more information about contests on News Talk 1130 WISN, go to newstalk1130.com/rules.
The American St. Nicholas Regardless, just an incredible story about the power of kindness and the human touch that can echo throughout the ages. I love that story. It's one of my favorites at Christmas time. And a reminder, we do want you to subscribe to Forgotten History. It's its own separate standalone podcast that you can get wherever you listen to podcasts. But really, we want you to get it at your iHeartRadio app. Got an update out of Badger Middle School in West Bend. This comes from the communications manager of the West Bend School District. I called up Patrick O'Connor, who is the principal at Badger Middle School. Badger Middle School. Badger Middle School. I almost said Badger Elementary School, and then I paused myself and realized that I actually did say Badger Middle School. This is why I can't make fun of Joe Biden for doing this constantly, because I think I might be just as far along on the old dementia train as he is sometimes. So I called the superintendent. Oh my God, I did it again. I called the principal. All right, producer Greg is just going to finish the show. I need some warm milk and a nap, apparently. I called the principal, Patrick O'Connor, to get a request for comment. The mother of the victim in a brutal assault in a hallway just before school ended on Monday afternoon contacted me very, very upset that the school was not disciplining this student as severely as he should have been, in her opinion. She is the mother of a girl who this student, a 14-year-old boy, punched extremely hard in the face. So hard, in fact, that she can be seen on video. Her head strikes a locker. The mother says she took the child to urgent care after school and that the urgent care doctor said she needed to see a specialist. That's how badly she was hurt. The student was arrested. He was taken into custody and faces 2 juvenile charges, one for assault, one for disorderly conduct. And the parent was very upset because she did not believe that the student was being punished severely enough, that one of the girls involved in this altercation that led to this boy just coming out of nowhere and punching the daughter in the face, then punching another girl before storming off. One of the girls involved in the altercation, not the daughter, got an out-of-school suspension, but she believes that this boy got an in-school suspension. So I called up the principal to say, is this at all accurate? I got a response just a couple of minutes ago from the communications manager of the West Bend School District. From the West Bend School District. While schools shouldn't share details of exact disciplinary actions against a student due to the nature of working with minor students and an individual record, students may be in the building in the main office to complete an investigation and then removed following the conclusion of such an investigation. In other words, she can't say that's what happened, but this might have been what happened. As I sort of suspected, I couldn't imagine that the school would just say, okay, in-school suspension. My guess is that, just as this communication suggests, that the student was being interviewed because this is part of a longer investigation. I just don't see how you can look at this video and not expel this kid. But discipline in schools being what it is, I have my doubts. Kirk Bangstad is the owner of the Minocqua Brewing Company that up until very recently operated a tap room in Minocqua, much to the chagrin of pretty much everyone in the community. And what this guy has done is unlawfully use his beer as a super PAC to support Democrats and liberals. He's bankrolling a lawsuit seeking to get rid of school choice in Wisconsin, because why not? When you're marginally sane, this is the sort of thing you do. Now, I'm a little concerned about talking about Kirk Bangstad because I don't want him to sue me. He is requesting a temporary restraining order against a person who posts negative things about him on Facebook. Now, anybody know why this is incredibly ironic? Anybody? He wants a temporary restraining order against a woman who is posting mean things about him on Facebook. Bangstad was just ordered to pay the single biggest defamation judgment in the history of Wisconsin for repeatedly slandering and libeling the owner of a newspaper who was critical of him, proving once again that liberals like Kirk can dish it out, but they absolutely cannot take it. We reported about a month or so ago about the Oneida County jury that ordered Bangstad to pay $750,000 for defaming Greg Walker, the publisher and owner of the Lakeland Times. And guess where he was defaming this guy? Facebook, the exact same place who he wants someone who criticizes him to have a temporary restraining order. 13-member jury found Bangstad smeared Walker by calling him a crook and a misogynist. He also said far, far, far crueler things about how Walker basically allowed his father to die so that he could seize control of the business. There was an incident about, was it Walker's brother, who was killed in a tragic hunting accident that Bangstad was ripping on him. I mean, truly just vile stuff. Now, I actually have a copy of Kirk's request for a temporary restraining order. Here's why he wants a restraining order against a woman who says mean stuff about him on Facebook. Okay? She's a top contributor of the Facebook group We Love You Kirk, an ironically named hate group dedicated to petitioner, that would be Bangstad. She is also a member, moderator, and top contributor of the Facebook group MBC Super Victim Woke, Coked, and Broke Support Group, another hate group dedicated to Bangstad. She is apparently engaged in a multi-year campaign of harassment against him because she posts things like this. She has repeatedly posted about petitioner's father's criminal record and struggles with mental illness to the Facebook group, always in reference to petitioner and with the intent to harass petitioner. She accused petitioner of having herpes and being a poster child for STDs. At the end of October, she posted the following to the Facebook group We Love You Kirk. God knows he's pounded everything but sand. Powder, yes. Lots of women, yes. Men, I've heard he goes that way too. So sand, deaf, he should try. Ouch. Ooh. Yeah. On or about September 1st, 2023, respondent explained to the Facebook group We Love You Kirk that petitioner owns 3 pairs of shorts, some blue ones, those funky pink ones, and the Lifesaver ones. It's unclear why respondent is tracking petitioner's wardrobe, but it is a cause for concern. He has 3 pairs of shorts. This is an honest-to-God claim for relief in the form of a temporary restraining order because the woman is posting about his shorts. On or about August 27th, in response to a statement petitioner made about his faith, respondent compared petitioner, Bangstad, to Satan in the Facebook group We Love You Kirk. On or about August 5th, in the Facebook group We Love You Kirk, respondent accused Bangstad of being a polyamorous cult leader. On or about August 4th, 2023, in the Facebook group We Love You Kirk, respondent accused petitioner of using dating apps to prey on women. On or about August 3rd, 2023, respondent baselessly reported one of petitioner's posts asking for super PAC donations as fraud to Facebook. All of the above acts committed by respondent harassed petitioner and served no legitimate purpose. Apparently, Kirk has never been on the internet before. Just last night, I was accused of being a pedophile who cashes welfare checks in Milwaukee. Okay. Now, this would be one thing, and some of this stuff, admittedly, is defamatory. You can't just accuse someone of preying on women on dating apps. This is, even if Bangstad is clearly a public figure for the purposes of defamation law, there's a higher bar to defame someone who's in the public spotlight than there is just an average citizen. Does this guy not understand the irony here? He was posting such vile stuff that he had the single biggest defamation judgment in the history of the state against him just a couple of weeks ago. And he wants a temporary restraining order against someone who is doing the exact same thing to him, proving yet again, folks, liberals like Kirk Bangstad can dish it out, and boy, do they ever, but they certainly can never, ever take it.
Reach Dan anytime on the AccuNet Mortgage Talk and Text line at 414-799-1130.
If you love football information and think you can profit from it, listen to the Mark Belling Football Preview and Picking Contest Thursdays in the 5 o'clock hour. Mark and Mike Merlette from American Sports Analysts look at pro and college games. Plus, one listener gets to pick a game against a spread or an over-under number for a chance to win $100.
The Mark Belling Football Preview and Picking Contest is presented by Holiday Automotive of Fond du Lac. 6 automotive brands all in one place. It's worth the trip. HolidayAutomotive.com.
Prepare the way of the Lord. It's Advent, and this is Archbishop Listecki. We in the Catholic Church are in the middle of the Eucharistic revival, spreading the word about the real presence of Christ in the Eucharist. During Mass, the bread and the wine become the body and blood of Christ, and we receive Jesus at every Mass. If you haven't been in church lately, Advent is the perfect time to renew your relationship with Jesus, the only true joy you'll experience in this life. Join us at Mass and experience the love of Jesus in the Eucharist.
At New Berlin Heating, we believe the right tools and training make all the difference in your home comfort. That's why we invest in industry-recommended tools others don't and learn exactly how to use them in our own on-site HVAC training lab. With access to the best equipment and technology, our New Berlin Heating team gains and shares the expert practical knowledge to handle any scenario.
For professional craftsmanship you can believe in, rely on New Berlin Heating, a York-certified comfort expert. Happy holidays from New Berlin Heating and York.
Set your game plan for a new baseball season with a 2024 Brewers 4-pack. Pick from 4 action-packed plan choices, each loaded with can't-miss Brewers games to fit your schedule and the best ticket prices. All available before single-game tickets are sold. Plus, when you buy a pair of 4-packs, you'll get a limited edition Brewers knit hat. Find the right plan for you today at brewers.com/4packs.
Portions of the following program were pre-recorded. If you're someone who's experiencing spine and musculoskeletal pain or shoulder, hip, and knee pain, think Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin. Jay Weber here, talking about the doctors and techs that I trust with my shoulder problems. I've had issues for years with micro tears. Not enough to warrant surgery, but painful and annoying nonetheless. I discovered that it wasn't a pain that I just had to live with, and Orthopedic Associates doctors gave me options to help the problem and alleviate the pain that I never knew were available. So if you're like me, know that you just don't have to live with it. And you will be impressed with Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin and their staff. I've never waited more than a few minutes after check-in to see the doctor or tech, and I've never felt forgotten in an exam room. Their physicians are committed to providing the highest quality joint care, from simple strains and tears to sports injuries to complex joint replacements. In fact, Orthopedic Associates specializes in same-day total joint replacements at their own ambulatory surgery center in Pewaukee. You can find them at orthowisconsin.com. orthowisconsin.com. Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin. There is a difference.
With the holidays upon us, the increase in traveling, shopping, and connecting online also heightens the need to protect your identity and finances with LifeLock. Identity thieves see this time of year as an opportunity to drain your accounts, open new loans in your name, and damage your financial future. LifeLock detects and alerts you to the threats you might miss on your own. Don't let the busy holiday season catch you off guard. Save up to 25% off your first year with promo code CLAY. LifeLock.com, promo code CLAY.
Jada doesn't believe in dreaming. Jada believes in doing, which is why she does all her banking with Landmark Credit Union. Checking account? Check. Savings? Certainly. Car loan? Mortgage? Most definitely. Landmark makes it easy for Jada to do all she does digitally with the Landmark app. Anytime, anywhere. Done and done. Just how Jada likes it. Landmark Credit Union. Banking made easy. Insured by NCUA, Equal Housing Opportunity.
Learn the secrets to create your own ultimate backyard retreat with Brett Ochtenhagen of Brett Ochtenhagen Seasonal Services. Tune in every Saturday at 1 p.m. on News Talk 1130 WISN. Learn more at seasonalservices.com.
There's a reason people sold to Grandview Homes instead of using a real estate agent.
We needed to sell Mom's home quickly and with a company we could rely on.
No showings, no closing costs, no added stress.
Visit GrandviewHomes.com to discover the easiest and fastest way to sell a home.
Join News Talk 1130 this Saturday at 4 p.m. for The Word on Medicine, the show that brings you the latest medical innovations and discoveries by physicians and scientists at the Medical College of Wisconsin. That's Saturday afternoon at 4 on News Talk 1130 WISN.
Wisconsin Badger basketball.
The red-hot Wisconsin Badgers have won 6 in a row, and the December grind doesn't get any easier. Traveling to number 1 Arizona this Saturday. Matt Butchie's pregame at 1. Tip at 2 on 97.3 The Game.
So we've always kind of known liberals can dish it out, but they can't take it, right? Has there ever been a better example of like 6 weeks after a guy has to pay $750,000 for defaming people on Facebook, he tries to get a temporary restraining order against a woman who he claims is defaming him on Facebook? Kirk Bangstad is the gift that keeps on giving. I was first turned on to this guy. Someone referred to him as the Penzi of the North Woods a few years later. And I have not regretted following his career as it has blossomed from wannabe Bill Penzi to full-on unhinged liberal of the day, Hall of Famer. I love that man so much. I've been going through your responses all show, and I believe the consensus is that Penzi's bizarre, vaguely anti-Semitic joke is, I'm going to call it anti-Semitic adjacent. He said, hey, if your friends have a sense of humor, if your Jewish friends have a sense of humor, take a picture of a couple sleeping bags in your attic and say, I'm there for you. Once again, the utter lack of self-awareness here. Penzi is aware, right, that the exact same people who have the coexist bumper stickers and are shopping at Penzi's Spices are the ones who are making Jewish people really, really, really uncomfortable. How many of those university presidents who testified that calling for a genocide of Jewish people is not harassment on their campuses and then had to issue groveling apologies? It is awesome, by the way, and it should be very instructive that these people can be, just defiant in the face of members of Congress, especially if they're Republicans. But the second their mega donors start calling and saying, hey, what's the deal here? You either apologize for this or we're pulling funding or putting pressure on the Board of Trustees to remove you from your position. Well, let me be clear. What I meant was, no, you said what you meant before Congress, lady. Every single one of those people, every single one thinks the exact same way Bill Penzi does. They're dyed-in-the-wool liberals, social justice warriors. They want to free Palestine. They believe that Israel is committing war crimes and the like. Every single one. There is no massive anti-Semitic movement on the right. Same people, though, that were freaking out over the 24 douches with tiki torches in Charlottesville in 2017 have no issue with calls for an intifada among thousands of people screaming glory be to the martyrs who gather in big Democrat cities every single weekend. California, they just had to cancel the lighting of the state Christmas tree because they were worried that the pro-Hamas, pro-terror protesters would disrupt it. All right, end of rant. I'll be back tomorrow with more fun on the Friday edition of the Dan O'Donnell Show. Talk to you then.